You see numerous preseason rankings of players that are going to be eligible for the draft this summer in Montreal, and you look across the Quebec Major Junior Hockey Leagues. Is it a good stock of players coming from the Q this year?
I'm just starting out my initial trip through the Q right now, but early on it looks like it's going to be a little bit more depth than normal in the Quebec League this year. And the games I've seen so far, I've seen the high-end talent, but I've also seen some guys that are going to be prospects at the end of the season and are just coming into their own right now.
One name, of course, Alex Lafreniere has been on the radar for a while, and many think that he'll be the first overall pick. Of course, we've got months of hockey in front of us for that to be determined. But your impressions of Lafreniere?
Well, I've saw him play twice already this trip, and he's been outstanding both viewings. He controls the pace of play. He sees the ice so well. He's got a great shot, great release, but he shares the puck. He's not a selfish player. He actually, for a star player, has a very team-oriented approach to the game.
I want to ask you about, three defensemen, one in the game here this afternoon. I know you were in the building last night, but the three defensemen who there's a general consensus that they all three could be first-round picks from the Quebec League, and that's Jeremie Poirier. Let's begin with Jeremie, again, his second year at the Sea Dogs. Just give me your thoughts on the defenseman he is, and if he indeed is worthy of perhaps a first-round pick.
Oh, Jeremie's game is trending up. There's no question about that. He brings a lot of offense to the game. He sees the ice offensively very well. He's got a great shot. He's got great shot placement as well. So he can shoot for rebounds, shoot for deflections, but he also can beat goalies clean from the point.
What would you be looking from him specifically? What areas perhaps does he need to perhaps just get that much better to move up in the rankings?
Well, I think like any young defenseman that are offensive oriented, you have to be able to play defense in the National Hockey League as a defenseman. So when you're looking at Jeremie's overall development, you want to see him develop some more defensive detail, close on opposing players, cleaner and stronger. He transitions the puck fine, so it's just a matter of showing that he can defend at the higher levels, and that's just practice and mileage.
Let's move from Jeremie Poirier to the Halifax Mooseheads defenseman who you would have seen here last night, Justin Barron. Again, the player that you see and perhaps will become.
Yeah, Justin's in a situation where he's already more of a two-way type of player. He brings that offense. He's got a heavy shot as well, but he's not as dynamic with the puck on an individual basis. But I think defensively he's a little bit more structured, has more detail, and is more in a situation where he brings a two-way element to the game instead of a dimensional offensive element.
And I guess the third defenseman perhaps maybe doesn't get quite as much exposure or recognition with the Charlottetown Islanders, Lukas Cormier.
Yeah, Lukas unfortunately was injured for my viewing so far, but I saw him in the summertime, and he's got a really good upside. So I'm going to have to come back in to Prince Edward Island and see him play in the wintertime, it looks like, which is fine. I always like going to the island.
Better to go in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about that. But, he's an offensive guy that brings that element, that transitional ability to either skate the puck out of the defensive zone or make that crisp first pass and then join the attack as it's moving forward.
I know it's only October, but do you consider him as perhaps a first-round pick as well?
Well, I think that's to be determined right now, but he's trending in the right direction. His game is suited more towards the game now, so he's got every opportunity to show the scouts that he deserves to be a first-round pick, and based on his play to date before the injury, it looks like he's heading in that direction.